What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, giving you guys 5 cards that you might want to consider investing in and picking up sooner rather than later, in my opinion, because these are cards that are not going to be in the mega tens, and these are cards that have the possibility of spiking very hard. These are cards that you might turn around in a couple of weeks and they might end up being a lot more expensive. There might be some decks that you want to play in the future, and this is just a good opportunity to maybe pick them up on the cheap before you have to spend a lot more than you anticipated. You guys know that I'm not generally a market watch channel. I used to dip my feet on that topic, and I just kind of stopped because I felt like the market watch scene got a little too flooded. Stopped doing that stuff, did some other stuff. I've been fine, but when the opportunity kind of provides itself to make a good video that I would also consider informative, I'm not opposed to that. And actually, this information came by a very cool YouTuber that I wasn't really that familiar with. His name is Yu-Gi-Oh Money. Please, guys, show him some love. He's got about 1,000 subs. He's on his grind, and his whole channel is kind of devoted to the financial side of Yu-Gi-Oh, not just market watches, but investments, talking about how to make money in the game, etc., etc. So these are the 5 cards that I'm looking at, because again, these cards are not going to be in the mega tens. People have already started cracking open the mega tens, guys. In fact, I believe we know every single secret, ultra rare, and super rare except one super rare card, which, to be completely honest, is inconsequential to this video. We know all the secrets, we know all the ultras, we know 99% of the super, so I feel like I can make an adequate list. The first card is Spiral Super Agent. This card is already about $9, and I feel like when we get Double Helix, which if you haven't seen Spirals in action, like in link format, you haven't actually seen them pop off when they have Double Helix. It's one of the most ridiculous things that you have actually seen. I believe that there is currently a 2-card FTK, which, by the way, I think that all of these, not to blow it out of proportion, I think that all of these FTK, OTKs will probably be eliminated sooner rather than later, when Konami just says, all right, fuck it, we're just gonna semi-limit, or excuse me, we're just gonna limit Firewall Dragon to 1. But the deck is explosive as hell. I think that a lot of players are going to be looking forward to playing Spirals, and there is not going to be any reprint between now and Circuit Break, I would imagine, unless Konami just pulls something completely out of their ass. There's not going to be another printing for Super Agent, so the card that you have to run 3 of literally has nowhere to go but up, and even if the deck doesn't do all that well on the the OCG side of things, we've already seen it do well in the regional circuit, and I believe, I'm not sure if it has a YCS top. I think it has maybe a YCS like top 48, but I know that Spirals have top 8 regionals, and I expect them to do a lot better moving forward. The second card is Denlong, first of the Yang Zing. This one should have been obvious. A lot of people have been looking at this. A lot of people have been looking at Chi-Win. I believe Chi-Win has actually gone up in value tremendously, because we already knew that that card wasn't going to get reprinted anytime soon, because obviously that's a card from Duos Alliance. But yeah, Chi-Win is not in the mega tens. This isn't actually that shocking, because I mean, Konami is obviously trying to promote archetypes. They're trying to promote Dark Magician and Blue Eyes, because that's Yugi and Kaiba, and they're trying to promote things like, Zodiac and stuff like that. They're trying to promote the they're trying to promote like the True Kings. So obviously they're not super focused on Denlong, even though it is pretty much like the most important extra deck card in the Dinosaur extra deck, or maybe you could say it's Trishula. Some people might say that it's True King of all calamities, but the fact of the matter is they summon Denlong a lot, and every version that I've seen runs multiple copies, because there obviously is that True King that could just banish the Denlong. This is a card that pretty much gets the deck rolling, gets cards in the extra deck, gets you your 9 branches, also gets you your Yang Zing path. It is kind of a jack of all trades, and it has a huge booty. It's an ultra rare, and it is $7, but I think when this news comes out that Denlong is not going to get reprinted, it's not in the mega tens, and especially considering people run multiples of this card in the Dinosaur deck, and then Lord forbid if Zodiac and True Dracos get hit and Dinosaurs become the best deck in the meta. You guys see the OCG and how crazy it is there, and how the deck just won Worlds. Again, every single one of those Dino players was running multiple Denlongs in their extra deck, so Denlong is pretty much going to be a card that is all but guaranteed to go up. It's not even like Super Agent that just could go up. Denlong is almost certainly going to go up. My next card, I think, is Ice Bell. Yeah, Wind Witch Ice Bell. None of the Win Witches are actually in the Mega Tins, and this is probably smart of Konami because you can't just print one of them. They're kind of like a package deal. Obviously, they took up 3 ultra rare spots and Raging Tempest, so I don't think that it would make much sense to like reprint one Win Witch and not reprint all of them. Obviously, Ice Bell is the main card. It's the card that gets you basically started with your Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon that doesn't take up your normal summon. It is a card that it's seen a lot of play, obviously, and Invoked will probably be moving up the ladder if Zodiac gets taken out by the ban list completely. Obviously, there's a little more room in the meta. A lot of people are looking at the Invoke Win Witch deck, and this is the Win Witch card that you run the most copies of. So I think that Ice Bell is probably going to be a card that could go maybe to $15–20 because it's probably going to be a very long time before Konami actually reprints this. I mean, I don't think that there's going to be any more Win Witch support ever, because obviously well, I was gonna call her Ruri. No, it is Ren. Yeah, Ren was a minor character on Arc V, so it's not like she's a really big deal or anything like that. So I really don't see Konami having a need to reprint Ice Bell in the future, which means that this Raging Tempest print could just be, you know, the only print for a very long time. Next up, we have all the Subterra cards. I know this is kind of like cheating. It's supposed to be 5 cards, but yeah, literally there are no Subterra cards in the Mega Tins. This one is a little interesting. Maybe Konami just forgot about Spirals and Subterras completely. Now, Subterras are in a little bit different of a situation because there really isn't anything that expensive in the set. I mean, or in the archetype. I guess Archer is the most expensive card. It's like $4.50. It doesn't really cost that much even to get a playset, but the interesting thing about Subterrors are not only are they confirmed to get a Link monster in Circuit Break, which is, I believe, in October, but we also know that next month they're going to have a brand new OCG exclusive monster that is going to be revealed as well. So Subterrors are getting a new monster. How good that monster will actually be is, I mean, I guess that's up to Konami. Nobody really knows as of right now, but Subterrors are guaranteed to get more support, and that new monster could be something that breaks the archetype. What if it's like, when this card is normal summon, you know, summon one behemoth from your main deck in face down position? Like, that would be crazy, and then it can't be like destroyed or targeted by card effects. Like, that would be nuts. Like, that would be the card that honestly would break the archetype. Like, whoa, that would make everybody look at the archetype completely different. Or I don't know, maybe it'll be something crazy like when it's summoned, you get to add a, you know, Subterror spell and trap. I don't think Konami would do anything that crazy. I wish they would, because I'm actually mildly intrigued by Subterrors, but there is the possibility for Subterrors to go up because, again, they are getting a brand new card that will be exclusive to the OCG temporarily anyways. And then the last card, I put this last because it is super niche. That is Coral Dragon. A lot of people have forgotten about this coming out of Dark Illusion. I think it's kind of forgotten because there aren't a lot of synchro decks that go into 6. It's not like anybody really plays Speedroids all that much. Can Crystron go into this? I think maybe Crystron can go into this, but there aren't that many decks that go into like level 6s. I think the Dinosaur deck can go into this, but I'm not sure if they even actually run it. But it isn't getting reprinted, and it is like an $8 card. So maybe there will be a synchro based deck sometime soon within the next few sets. Maybe Extreme Force or the set after Extreme Force. Maybe there'll be something synchro based. We haven't really seen any synchro archetypes since the start of the Vrains era, unless I'm mistaken, or maybe I just can't think of it. But you know, this is a card that has the potential, or if it just becomes really relevant in a certain format because an older deck comes back, yeah, it could definitely go up in price. Because again, I don't really think that this card is even on Konami's radar at all. In fact, I would say out of all these cards, this is probably the least likely to even get reprinted, even more so than Denlock. So these are just some examples of cards that I think could possibly go up in value. I feel very strong about the first 3, and you know, the Subterrors, depending on what that new card does next month, they could spike as well. But anyways, whatever you guys thought, maybe there was some cards that I missed that you guys thought should have been on this list. Whatever you guys think, leave it in the comment section below. Also, guys, check out Yu-Gi-Oh! Money, especially if you're interested in the secondary market. Thank you guys for watching as always, and subscribe if you have not already. And you know what? This is a very good time for me to also plug my live stream. I am going to be live streaming. Obviously, this is random as hell, but I am going to be live streaming at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time Saturday, which is exactly when you guys see this. When you guys see this, I'm going to be asleep, but you know, later in the day, I will be streaming probably for at least like 3 hours, maybe even 4. We'll be on Dueling Book. We might do a couple of tag matches on YGO Pro. It should be fun. I got to get back into the whole rhythm of streaming. Don't expect it to be like amazingly awesome, because I don't think that my amazing streams will happen for at least 3 or 4 streams after I kind of get into my rhythm.